Alex Parker walked through the silent halls of the Galactic auction house, his boots echoing on the metal floor. He had expected a busy place filled with collectors, bidders, and people shouting over each other for the rarest starships. Instead, he found almost nothing. The usual clamor of a galactic auction was replaced by quiet hums of the lights and the faint scent of recycled air. Only a few aliens lingered in the corners, their multicolored eyes glinting with boredom. Alex frowned. Something about this was strange. He had traveled a long way to get here. His home planet, Earth, had only recently begun sending explorers and traders across nearby star systems. Alex was one of the few humans who dared to try space trading on his own. He had saved for years, taking small jobs on space stations, delivering cargo, and even fixing old ships. This auction had been supposed to be the highlight of his trip. He had dreamed of seeing rare ships, ancient vessels, and technology humans had never touched before. But now, standing in the nearly empty hall, he wondered if his journey had been a mistake. The auctioneer was a tall, holographic figure that floated in the center of the room. Its voice was calm and even, lacking excitement. "Welcome to the Zero-Star Auction," it said. "We have several rare items today. Please bid carefully." There was no excitement in its tone, no spark of drama. It was as if the auction itself had forgotten why it existed. Alex's eyes scanned the display area. Most of the items were small. Alien artifacts, broken equipment, and a few weapons with unknown functions. Nothing that made his heart race. Then, at the far end of the hall, he saw a galactic cruiser, much larger than anything he had ever imagined. Its silver and blue hull gleamed under the lights, reflecting in the polished floor. It looked untouched, almost new, despite its age. Alex walked closer, his boots making soft thuds against the metal. The closer he got, the more he felt something strange. The ship seemed alive. There was a low hum coming from inside, almost like a heartbeat. It made the hairs on his arms stand up. He reached out and touched the hull. The metal was smooth, warm to the touch, and somehow inviting. It was not just a ship. It felt like a living thing, waiting for someone to take control. A small holographic panel lit up near the ship's entrance. It showed a starting price, 5,000 galactic credits. That was cheap for a ship of this size and technology. Alex raised an eyebrow. The auctioneer had not even announced it yet. There were no other bidders. The hall was silent, except for the hum of the lights. Alex's heart began to beat faster. He knew he could not let this opportunity pass. A ship like this could change his life. It could give him freedom, power, and a chance to explore space in ways humans rarely got. Without thinking too much, he tapped the bidding button. "I'll take it," he said aloud, almost in disbelief. The auctioneer's holographic voice confirmed his bid. Alex's hands trembled. He had just bought a galactic cruiser, and no one had even noticed. He moved closer to the ship's entrance. The airlock opened automatically, welcoming him inside. As he stepped in, he felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The interior of the cruiser was vast. High ceilings, wide corridors, and walls lined with lights that pulsed softly as if the ship were breathing. The floor was polished and smooth. There was no dust, no sign of neglect. It felt like the ship had been waiting just for him. Alex walked through the corridors, touching panels, buttons, and screens. They lit up under his fingers, responding instantly to his presence. He had expected some old ship to creak, to be broken in parts. But this cruiser was different. It was alive with technology. Every system seemed advanced, far beyond what humans had. At the center of the ship, Alex found the control room. A massive viewing window looked out into space. The stars stretched endlessly, and he felt a thrill that made his stomach tighten. The control panels were covered in lights, switches, and holographic displays. He reached out and touched one of them, and a soft voice spoke. "Hello, Alex Parker. Welcome aboard. I am Orion, the ship's AI." Alex froze. He had not expected the ship to talk. "Orion?" he asked, unsure if he should be speaking to a ship. You know my name?" "Yes," Orion replied. "I have scanned your identification from the auction database. You are now the captain of this cruiser. My purpose is to assist you in piloting, managing, and maintaining this vessel. I also hold information about its systems and history." Alex blinked. He had always imagined finding a talking AI like in stories, but it felt different in real life. Excitement and fear mixed in his chest. "History?" he asked cautiously. "Yes, this ship was once part of an elite fleet belonging to the Interstellar Alliance," Orion explained. "It has been used on missions to protect colonies, deliver critical supplies, and fight in defensive operations. The crew has long been in stasis pods, awaiting future activation. The technology here is advanced and adaptive, responding to human creativity and intuition." Alex felt a chill. A crew in stasis? Advanced technology? He had bought a ship, not just big and fast, but alive and intelligent. He realized that his life was about to change completely. He wandered further into the ship, exploring its corridors. Rooms opened automatically as he approached. He found sleeping quarters, a galley with replicators capable of creating any food he imagined, a medical bay stocked with advanced equipment, and a small library with data on galaxies, planets, and civilizations. Each room seemed more incredible than the last. In one corridor, he found a set of pods glowing softly. Curiosity overcame him. He reached out to touch one. The pod opened, and inside was a humanoid figure. Alex stepped back in shock. The figure looked human, but with subtle differences, slightly taller. Skin with faint metallic shimmer. Eyes that seemed to see far beyond the room. The figure stirred, but did not wake fully. Orion's voice echoed gently. "These are the stasis pods. The crew is dormant. They can awaken only under certain conditions. For now, you should focus on learning the ship. Activating the crew is not recommended until you understand the responsibilities you carry." Alex nodded, though he felt a strange connection to the pods. He could not explain it, but something about the dormant crew felt familiar, almost welcoming. It was as if they were waiting for him to prove himself. He continued exploring, and eventually came to the engine room. The engine core glowed like a small sun, humming with energy. Alex placed his hand on the console, and a flood of information appeared in his mind: ship status, power levels, navigation data, and hidden compartments. The ship was capable of faster-than-light travel, energy shields, and even weapons far beyond human technology. For a moment, Alex felt overwhelmed. How could one human control all of this? How could he master a ship designed for a fleet, with powers that could change entire star systems? But as he looked out at the stars through the viewing window, a spark of determination lit within him. He could learn. He could adapt. He had to. He spent hours in the control room, testing the ship's systems. Orion guided him, explaining each function: lights, shields, navigation, life support, communication systems, even self-repair mechanisms. The ship responded to his commands as if it recognized his potential. Alex felt a mixture of fear and excitement. When he finally paused, he realized he had been inside the ship for nearly a day. He had not eaten, had not slept, and had barely noticed the passing time. Outside the window, distant stars shone like tiny diamonds, and Alex felt a thrill he had never experienced. This was not just a ship. This was a new world. A new life. He sat down in the captain's chair, hands on the controls, and looked around at the glowing displays. He knew that no one else had experienced anything like this. Humans had not yet proven themselves in this part of the galaxy. But here he was, in a ship designed for greatness, with technology that could surpass most civilizations. Alex took a deep breath. He did not know what the future held, but he felt ready. The decision to buy this ship had been impulsive, perhaps even reckless. But standing there, he knew it was also the best decision of his life. Something told him that the ship had chosen him just as much as he had chosen it. As night fell outside, the ship's lights dimmed to a soft glow. Alex reclined in his chair, staring at the stars, feeling a mix of fear, excitement, and hope. This was the beginning of something extraordinary, something that could change him, and maybe even the entire galaxy. Orion's voice spoke softly. "Captain, I am here to guide you. Together, we will explore, learn, and grow. Your journey has just begun." Alex smiled. "Then let's get started," he said. And for the first time in his life, he felt like he was exactly where he belonged. The galactic cruiser hummed around him, alive and ready. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, waiting for him to take the first step. And in that quiet, endless expanse of space, a human boy named Alex Parker began a journey that would change not only his life, but the way the galaxy would see humanity forever. Alex Parker woke early in the cruiser, though he did not need an alarm. The ship seemed to know when he stirred, its soft lights adjusting to his movement. He rubbed his eyes and looked around. The corridors that had seemed so strange yesterday now felt like a second home. Every panel, every console, and every light seemed familiar already. But he knew he had barely scratched the surface. There was so much about this ship that he did not yet understand. He moved toward the control room, curious to see if Orion, the ship's AI, would have more to show him. "Good morning, Captain," Orion said softly as he stepped into the room. "I have prepared today's orientation. There are systems and areas of the ship that you have not yet explored. They are critical for understanding your cruiser's full capabilities." Alex leaned against the console, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. "Orientation? You mean, I still have a lot to learn?" he asked. "Yes," Orion replied. "This ship was designed for experienced crews. You are alone. You must adapt. I will guide you, but your human creativity and intuition will determine how effectively you use this cruiser." Alex nodded. He had always known that humans were capable of learning, adapting, and creating. But this was on another level. He had no formal training with alien technology or interstellar warships. Yet, standing there, he felt ready to try. Orion began by showing him a holographic map of the ship. The cruiser was enormous, with levels upon levels of rooms, labs, living quarters, storage, and even hidden compartments. Some areas were locked, accessible only when Alex completed certain tasks or proved his understanding of the ship. Alex moved through the ship systematically. He started with the engine room. The glowing core pulsed with energy, and the panels displayed information he could barely understand. Orion explained that the engines were capable of faster-than-light travel and could adjust the ship's speed, shields, and energy output automatically based on the environment. "You are stronger than a single human in this ship," Orion said. "But your mind must guide its power." Alex ran his hands over the controls, feeling the ship respond. Every movement, every touch, triggered a reaction. The engines hummed louder when he adjusted power levels, and the lights around the room flickered in response to his focus. He could feel the ship learning him as much as he was learning it. After the engine room, Alex explored the living quarters. They were vast, clean, and stocked with everything he might need. Beds adjusted automatically to fit his body. A replicator created food at his request, and storage units held supplies that could last for years. He marveled at the efficiency. Humans had struggled with small space stations, barely able to maintain life support. And here, he had a ship that could almost run itself. In one room, Alex found a cluster of stasis pods, the same type he had seen before. They glowed softly, their occupants sleeping peacefully. He could not help but stare. Each pod contained a humanoid figure, slightly taller than humans, with faint differences in skin color and eye shape. Orion explained that these were alien crew members who had once commanded this ship. "Why are they sleeping?" Alex asked. "Because their mission was suspended," Orion replied. "They will remain in stasis until the ship detects a need for them, or until you prove capable of integrating with the ship's systems. Activating them too early could be dangerous." Alex stepped back. He had not expected to feel a connection to creatures he had never met. But something about them felt familiar. It was almost as if the ship itself wanted him to learn before waking the crew. He moved on to the medical bay, where the equipment looked advanced beyond anything humans had. Machines could scan, heal, and even enhance biological functions. Alex ran tests on himself, curious but cautious. The ship monitored him constantly, making sure he did not overuse the systems. Next, he explored the command center. Orion displayed holographic star maps, showing nearby star systems, trade routes, and even hidden sectors that humans rarely explored. Alex's eyes widened. There were so many possibilities, so many places he could go. He could trade, explore, or even intervene in conflicts humans had never known existed. Alex realized he had to learn how to pilot the ship fully before taking any risks. Orion guided him through simulations first. He practiced maneuvers, avoided asteroid fields, and even dodged simulated enemy attacks. Each success made him more confident. Each failure taught him something new. After several hours, Alex felt a sense of accomplishment. He had learned more about the cruiser in one day than most humans could in a lifetime. Yet, he also knew this was only the beginning. The ship held secrets he had not yet uncovered, powers he had not yet touched. That evening, he returned to the stasis pods. He had been thinking about them all day. Something about the silent crew pulled at him. He reached out and touched one pod lightly. A small screen lit up, showing information about the occupant: name, species, skills, and past missions. Why would the ship keep them in stasis? Alex asked Orion. "To preserve knowledge and abilities," Orion said. "They are elite pilots, strategists, and engineers. If activated too early, they could be at risk. You must understand the ship and its responsibilities before they awaken." Alex nodded. He felt a strange sense of duty. He had not just bought a ship. He had inherited a legacy. Days passed, and Alex continued to explore. He found a hidden library filled with data files about distant planets, alien species, and interstellar history. He learned about civilizations humans had only heard of in myths. He discovered records of battles, trade, diplomacy, and even secret alliances. Each file made him realize how little humanity knew about the galaxy. He also found hidden compartments within the ship. Some held weapons, others held tools, and some contained experimental technology that could repair or enhance other ships. Alex tested them carefully, learning their functions. He felt a sense of pride and wonder. Humans had always been underestimated. Now, with this ship, he could prove what a single human mind could achieve. One evening, as he worked in the command center, Orion spoke quietly. "Captain, there is something you must know. This ship has sensors that can detect danger, sometimes before it even appears. You are not alone in this galaxy. Some are aware of your presence, and some may try to take this ship from you." Alex's heart raced. He had thought he was alone, exploring for adventure. Now he realized the galaxy was watching him. He had powerful technology, and others would want it. But fear did not take over. Instead, he felt determination. He had learned quickly, and he would be ready. Over the next weeks, Alex continued his training. He ran simulations with Orion, tested the ship's engines, and even learned to navigate through asteroid belts. Each day, he discovered more about the ship's hidden capabilities. The ship seemed to adapt to him, responding faster, anticipating his decisions, and even offering suggestions. He also spent time studying the stasis pods. Though he had not activated them, he felt a connection to the crew. He could sense that they were waiting for someone worthy, someone who could guide the ship responsibly. That someone, he realized, had to be him. One night, while looking at the stars through the cruiser's massive viewing window, Alex felt a strange calm. He thought about Earth, about the people who doubted humans could survive in deep space. He thought about his life before the auction, about small jobs and long days spent dreaming. And now, he had a ship that could travel anywhere, fight any threat, and uncover secrets humans had never known. Orion spoke softly. "Captain, you are progressing faster than expected. The ship is responding to your commands with greater efficiency. You are ready to begin exploring outside known sectors soon. But there is still more to learn. Some areas remain locked until you demonstrate full understanding of navigation, defense, and resource management." Alex smiled. "Then we keep learning," he said. "I want to know everything this ship can do. I want to be ready for whatever comes next." The days and nights passed quickly. Alex worked tirelessly, often forgetting to eat or sleep. The ship became his home, his teacher, and his challenge. He began to feel a bond with Orion, the AI that guided him, and even with the silent crew in their pods. He knew that one day he would awaken them, but only when he was truly ready. One morning, as he ran a routine test of the ship's systems, he noticed something strange on the holographic display. A small fleet of unknown ships was approaching the nearby sector. They moved quickly, but they had not detected the cruiser yet. Alex's pulse quickened. This was the moment he had been training for. He had to react carefully, using everything he had learned. Orion's voice was calm but firm. "Captain, these ships are likely hostile. I recommend stealth maneuvers and observation. You are capable of handling this situation if you follow protocol and remain calm." Alex took a deep breath. He touched the controls, feeling the ship respond instantly. The engines hummed louder, the lights pulsed, and the hull seemed to shift slightly, as if the ship itself was preparing for what was coming. He guided the cruiser into a hidden trajectory, weaving between asteroid fields and using the ship's advanced sensors to track the unknown fleet. His hands moved with confidence now, each decision precise, each command executed flawlessly. He realized that he was not just learning the ship, he was becoming one with it. Hours passed, and the fleet moved on without detecting him. Alex exhaled slowly, feeling relief and pride. He had faced his first real challenge, and he had succeeded. As he sat back in the captain's chair, he looked at the stasis pods once more. He knew that awakening the crew was still far away, but he felt a growing confidence. He had the skills, the knowledge, and the determination to face the galaxy. For the first time, Alex truly understood what it meant to be a captain not just of a ship, but of his own destiny. He had chosen this path, and now, the galaxy would watch as a human carved a place for himself among the stars. Alex Parker had been training on the cruiser for weeks, and he felt more confident with every passing day. He had learned the ship's systems, explored every room he could access, and even practiced maneuvers in asteroid fields. But he knew that real experience could not come from simulations alone. He had to test the ship in the real galaxy. Orion's soft voice broke his thoughts. "Captain, sensors indicate unusual activity nearby. A small fleet of unidentified ships is moving through the sector. They are heavily armed and may pose a threat." Alex leaned forward in the captain's chair, studying the holographic display. The ships were faster and more advanced than anything he had seen before. Their formation suggested coordination, discipline, and purpose. They were not scouts or traders. They were hunters. "Can they detect us?" he asked, his voice calm despite the tension in his chest. "Not yet," Orion replied. "If you move carefully, we can observe and avoid detection. But if you act recklessly, they will notice our presence immediately." Alex's mind raced. He had never faced real enemies before. All his experience had been with simulations and practice maneuvers. But he knew he could not hide forever. The galaxy was not a safe place. And his ship, as powerful as it was, would attract attention sooner or later. He took a deep breath and made his decision. "We will observe first," he said. "Then we will decide what to do." The cruiser moved silently, weaving between asteroids and using the ship's advanced sensors to track the fleet. Alex's hands moved over the controls, adjusting the engines, shields, and stealth systems in perfect harmony. The ship responded as if it knew his intentions, gliding smoothly through space. Hours passed as Alex monitored the fleet. He learned their patterns, their speed, and their communication signals. They were organized, but they had weaknesses. Small gaps in their formation could be exploited, and their sensors, while strong, did not cover certain blind spots in the asteroid field. Orion spoke quietly. "Captain, you are ready to engage if necessary. I can assist with targeting, maneuvering, and defensive protocols. But your decisions must guide our actions. This is not a simulation." Alex nodded. The words weighed heavily on him. He was alone, with no crew to back him up. The stasis pods remained silent, their occupants waiting, and he could not risk awakening them yet. This fight, if it came, would be his alone. Suddenly, one of the enemy ships changed course, moving closer to the cruiser. Alex's heart raced, but his hands remained steady. "We need to test their response," he said. He adjusted the ship's shields to reflect light, making the cruiser more visible than it had been. The enemy ship paused, scanning carefully. Orion's voice was calm. "They have detected us. You have 3 options: retreat, hide, or engage. Your choice will determine the outcome." Alex thought quickly. Retreat would show weakness, and hiding might not last long. He decided to act. "We engage," he said. "Prepare defensive systems, and target their weapons first." The cruiser moved with incredible speed, dodging the first shots fired from the enemy ship. Energy beams streaked past, hitting asteroids and lighting the void with bright flashes. Alex felt a thrill unlike anything before. This was real. Life and death were not simulations. Every decision mattered. Orion guided him, suggesting evasive maneuvers and targeting weak points in the enemy ship's shields. Alex adjusted the ship's weapons, firing precise blasts that disabled the enemy's engines. The ship slowed, drifting helplessly in space. Alex felt a rush of pride. He had done it, but there was no time to celebrate. The rest of the fleet noticed and began to change course, moving to surround him. Alex's mind raced. He had to think fast. He remembered the blind spots in their formation. "Orion, plot a course through the asteroid belt. We can use it to break their formation." Orion. The cruiser darted toward the dense field of rocks and ice. The enemy ships followed, but their larger size made maneuvering difficult. Alex guided the cruiser through narrow passages, dodging asteroids and using them as cover. The fleet struggled to keep up, and Alex could see their formation breaking. "Good thinking, Captain," Orion said. "They are vulnerable. You can strike now or continue evading." Alex made a decision. He targeted the largest ship in the fleet, aiming for its engines. The cruiser fired a concentrated energy beam, hitting the ship and sending it spinning out of control. The remaining ships hesitated, unsure how to respond. Alex used the moment to increase speed, moving deeper into the asteroid field. Hours passed as he led the fleet through a dangerous chase. Every move required precision. Every decision was critical. The cruiser responded flawlessly, its advanced technology allowing him to perform maneuvers no human could normally achieve. He felt a growing connection with the ship, as if it understood him and trusted him to guide it. Finally, the fleet began to retreat. Their ships moved away from the asteroid field, damaged and disorganized. Alex let out a deep breath, feeling relief and exhaustion at the same time. He had faced his first real danger and survived. He had tested his skills, and the cruiser had proven its power. Orion's voice was calm but approving. "You have demonstrated exceptional skill, Captain. The fleet will likely report your presence, but they will not pursue you immediately. You are now recognized as a formidable pilot in this sector." Alex sat back in the captain's chair, staring at the stars. He had faced fear, danger, and uncertainty, and had prevailed. For the first time, he truly understood what it meant to command a powerful ship alone. He had not only survived, but had also outsmarted a fleet that had seemed impossible to beat. But the encounter left him with questions. Who were those ships? Why had they been hunting in this sector? And how long before more fleets came looking for the cruiser? He knew that the galaxy was vast and filled with dangers he had not yet imagined. Over the next few days, Alex focused on strengthening his skills. He ran simulations to anticipate enemy strategies, practiced evasive maneuvers, and tested the ship's weapon systems. He learned to coordinate with Orion more effectively, relying on the AI for guidance but making all critical decisions himself. He also spent time studying the stasis pods. He had not awakened any of the crew, but he felt their presence more strongly now. It was as if the ship itself was waiting for him to prove his worth before sharing its full secrets. Alex understood that awakening the crew too early could be dangerous. He had to master the ship first. During one quiet moment, Alex explored the cruiser's hidden labs. He found advanced tools for repairing ships, creating energy sources, and even enhancing biological functions. He realized that the ship could not only fight and travel but also improve life itself. The possibilities were endless, limited only by his imagination and skill. Alex spent hours practicing alone, testing his limits, and learning to trust the ship completely. He began to feel a sense of partnership with Orion. The AI was more than a guide, it was a teacher, a companion, and a source of knowledge. Together, they had survived their first encounter with danger, and Alex knew that more challenges awaited. One evening, as he watched the stars drift by, he realized how far he had come. Just weeks ago, he had been an ordinary human, exploring a quiet auction hall. Now he was the captain of a powerful galactic cruiser, capable of evading fleets and mastering advanced technology. He felt a surge of pride and confidence. Humans had always been underestimated, but he had proven that even a single human could rise to extraordinary challenges. Orion's voice broke his thoughts. "Captain, sensors indicate unusual readings in a nearby system. It may be worth investigating. Your skills and the ship's capabilities will be tested further. Are you prepared to explore this sector?" Alex smiled, his eyes shining with determination. "Yes. Orion, let's see what's out there. Whatever it is, we'll handle it together." The cruiser moved forward, gliding through the endless stars with grace and power. Alex felt a deep sense of purpose. He had faced danger, survived, and grown stronger. He knew that the galaxy held countless challenges, but he was ready. As the ship sailed into the unknown, Alex thought about the future. The stasis pods, the hidden labs, the secrets of the galaxy they were all waiting. He would uncover them in time. But first, he had to continue learning, continue testing his skills, and continue proving that a human could rise to any challenge. The stars stretched endlessly before him, and the cruiser hummed with energy, alive and responsive. Alex Parker had faced his first real threat, and he had emerged victorious. The galaxy was vast and dangerous, but he was no longer just a human in space. He was a captain, a strategist, and a force to be reckoned with. And as the cruiser moved forward, guided by Alex's hands and Orion's knowledge, a single truth became clear. Humans were capable of greatness, even in a galaxy that had once doubted them. Alex Parker sat in the captain's chair, staring at the stars through the cruiser's massive viewing window. The galaxy stretched endlessly before him, filled with unknown worlds, alien civilizations, and challenges he had yet to face. He had survived his first encounter with hostile ships, mastered most of the cruiser's systems, and grown more confident with each day. Yet, something tugged at him. He knew the ship held even greater secrets, secrets that could not be unlocked without fully embracing his role as captain. Orion, the ship's AI, spoke softly. "Captain, you have proven your skill and judgment. There is one final step in understanding this vessel. The stasis pods may now be activated. Their knowledge and experience will guide you further. Are you prepared to awaken the crew?" Alex hesitated. He had grown attached to the silent presence of the pods, and the thought of awakening the crew filled him with excitement and fear. These were advanced beings, more experienced than any human he had ever known. Could he handle sharing command with them? "I am ready," he said finally. His voice was steady. "Let's see what this ship has been hiding." Orion's systems hummed as the pod's controls activated. One by one, the pods opened, releasing a soft mist. The figures inside slowly stirred, stretching and moving with grace. Their eyes opened, glowing faintly with intelligence and awareness. Alex could feel their curiosity and caution as they looked around, assessing their surroundings and him. "Captain," one of them said in a calm, melodic voice, "we have been in stasis for cycles. You are human. How did you come to command this ship?" Alex swallowed and met their gaze. "I bought this cruiser at an auction. It was empty. I did not know what I was getting into at first. But I've learned. I've trained. I've tested the ship. And I've survived threats that came after me. I am here to protect the ship and explore the galaxy." There was silence for a moment. Then, slowly, the crew nodded. They recognized something in Alex: determination, courage, and a mind capable of understanding and guiding the ship. Orion spoke. "Captain, the crew acknowledges your readiness. Their knowledge and skills are now available to you. Together, you may unlock the ship's full potential." Alex felt a thrill unlike anything before. This was no longer just a ship. This was a partnership, a fusion of human ingenuity and alien experience. He stepped forward, greeting each member personally. Their movements were fluid and precise, and their presence exuded authority. Yet they did not challenge him. Instead, they seemed willing to trust a human to lead them. Over the next few days, Alex worked closely with the crew. He learned how to integrate their abilities with the ship's systems. They showed him hidden compartments, advanced weapons, and secret technologies that even Orion had not revealed before. Together, they tested the cruiser's limits, performing maneuvers and simulations far beyond anything Alex had imagined possible. The cruiser became more than a ship, it became a symbol of potential. With human intuition guiding its power, and the alien crew providing experience and knowledge, it was unstoppable. This into P. The Ordi 14-2, B ground. Alex felt a sense of pride and responsibility. He understood that he now held the future of the ship, and possibly the galaxy, in his hands. Then, a warning alert sounded. Orion's voice was calm but urgent. "Captain, sensors detect a massive fleet moving toward this sector. They are heavily armed and coordinated. Their intent appears hostile. They may be aware of the cruiser's presence." Alex's heart raced. He had faced a small fleet before, but this was an entire armada. The stakes were higher, and mistakes could be deadly. He turned to the crew, who were already preparing their stations. "We have faced threats before, and we survived. We can do it again. Trust each other, and trust the ship." The cruiser's engines roared as Alex engaged the ship's full power. Shields lit up, weapons charged, and the hull glowed with energy. The fleet appeared on the horizon, countless ships moving in perfect formation. They were intimidating, but Alex did not falter. "Captain," Orion said, "their formation is strong, but predictable. With proper coordination, we can strike strategically and force a retreat." Alex nodded. He had trained for this moment, tested every system, and learned from every challenge. Now, he had the crew by his side. Together, they would face the galaxy's greatest danger and emerge victorious. The battle began with precision. Alex guided the cruiser through a series of maneuvers, dodging the fleet's first attacks. Energy beams streaked past, hitting asteroids and sending debris flying. The cruiser responded instantly, shields absorbing damage and engines adjusting to every movement. The crew worked seamlessly with Alex. One member handled advanced targeting, calculating weak points in the enemy formation. Another managed defensive systems, reinforcing shields and redirecting energy where it was needed most. Every decision was coordinated, and every action executed flawlessly. Alex felt a sense of exhilaration. This was no longer training or simulations. This was real, and he was leading the ship and its crew through the chaos of battle. He realized something important. Humans were capable of more than anyone had believed. With intelligence, creativity, and courage, they could face even the most advanced forces in the galaxy. Hours passed, and the battle raged. The fleet was relentless, but the cruiser and its crew adapted quickly. Alex identified the enemy commander's ship, the heart of the fleet, and focused his attacks. Using precision maneuvers and coordinated strikes, he disabled its engines, sending it spinning into the void. The rest of the fleet hesitated, unsure how to proceed. "Now," Alex shouted, "push forward. We finish this. We finish this." The crew acted instantly. Energy beams struck the remaining ships, disabling weapons and forcing them to retreat. The cruiser moved with unmatched speed and power, leading the enemy fleet away from inhabited systems. By the end of the engagement, the armada was in full retreat, leaving Alex and his crew victorious. Silence fell over the cruiser. The stars outside shone calmly, as if nothing had happened. Alex leaned back in his chair, exhausted but elated. He had faced the galaxy's greatest challenge so far and survived. The ship, the crew, and he had proven that humans were capable of extraordinary feats. Orion spoke softly. "Captain, you have demonstrated exceptional skill, courage, and leadership. The fleet will report your presence, but they will think twice before challenging this cruiser again. You have earned respect throughout this sector." Alex smiled, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. He looked at the crew, who returned his gaze with acknowledgement. They had trusted him, and he had led them to victory. For the first time, he understood the true potential of human determination, combined with knowledge and experience. In the days that followed, Alex and his crew explored the galaxy further. They visited new worlds, helped civilizations in need, and uncovered secrets that had been lost for centuries. The cruiser's advanced technology allowed them to navigate unknown sectors, communicate with alien species, and even prevent disasters that might have destroyed entire planets. Alex became known throughout the galaxy, not just as a human captain, but as a symbol of ingenuity, courage, and hope. Stories of his exploits spread quickly. Humans had always been underestimated, but now they were recognized as a species capable of greatness. Through it all, Alex remained humble. He knew the cruiser, Orion, and the crew had made him stronger. He had learned that true power came not from weapons or speed, but from intelligence, teamwork, and the courage to face the unknown. One evening, as the cruiser glided through a quiet nebula, Alex stood at the viewing window. The stars reflected in his eyes, and he thought about Earth, about the humans who had doubted their own potential. He smiled, knowing that he had changed the way the galaxy would see them. Orion spoke softly. "Captain, the galaxy is vast, and challenges will continue to arise. But you are ready. You, and the humans you represent, are capable of facing anything." Alex nodded. "Then we continue. There is so much more to see, so much more to do. This cruiser, this crew, and we are just getting started." The cruiser hummed with life around him, glowing softly in the nebula's light. The stasis pods were no longer silent. The crew worked alongside him, sharing knowledge, skills, and strategies. Together, they were unstoppable. And as the stars stretched endlessly ahead, Alex Parker knew one thing for certain. Humans could rise to greatness, even in a galaxy that had once doubted them. They could explore, protect, and change the future. With a steady hand on the controls, Alex set a course for the unknown, ready to face whatever awaited them. The Galactic cruiser moved forward, faster than any human had ever imagined. The universe was vast, full of challenges and mysteries, but now, it was a place where humans could thrive. Alex Parker had begun as a young explorer who bought an abandoned ship at an empty auction. He had faced danger, learned secrets, and proven his skill. And now, he was more than a captain. He was a pioneer, a hero, and a symbol of what humanity could achieve. The stars awaited, the galaxy watched, and a single human had proven that courage, intelligence, and determination could change everything.